Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Shut Door Shutter, coming back to you with a brand new episode of All the Mods Tend to the Sky. And today, we are using a mob spawner to spawn wandering traders. Now, this is completely and utterly a ridiculous idea, but it actually works, because you can get some very rare items that are harder to obtain than most. As you can see, I've actually got Nautilus shells from this right here. And this guy actually was one I just picked up 5 from, so that is pretty cool. So when they don't have something you like, then you just slaughter them. Or when they run out, right? That's the other thing. We can turn this off. This guy doesn't have anything. What about this guy? Nothing. This guy, nothing. This guy, something. Perfect. Grab some more emeralds. And that's what I've been doing. Just spawning these guys and slaughtering them. Mostly because I want to get some conduits. That's the biggest reason. And I think this is actually going to be somewhat useful. So I've got 15 of these guys, which is enough to get us a spawner that has ignore conditions. Of course, I don't think I'm going to use it. I'm actually probably going to use the mob slaughter factory to slaughter these guys. I think that sounds good. I was kind of like, man, I don't know what to use. And then I started using this to get the trades. And then I was like, you know what? I think it's time that we enact revenge on the wandering traders in a more sophisticated manner. So what I want to do is I'm going to make this top floor, and I guess actually I should take out the Warden stuff that I was messing around with up here off, so that way we just don't have any conflict. And we basically can make this room into a pink slime factory. And since these guys don't move, we really don't have to build a wall around this. In theory, they just spawn, they'll die. But we do need some add-ons, because I do want this to be a pretty decently sized area, which I think this guy has. What does he have? Spawn count, max entities, spawn range, so 4. So I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm thinking right here for the mob slaughter factory. And now we just need to get the range add-on, which requires us to get the dissolution chamber. Yes, this thing right here, dissolution. We'll just quickly get these crafted up, all the items we need. And let's go put this guy down in our area down here, as we're going to want to do, of course, automation. So we don't have to stand here and wait. All right. And then we will do blocking mode on top of this, and I think that should be good. We just make sure output goes onto the top, and I think that'll function. So now all we need to do is just go here, and we need to look for like range add-on, and I'm just gonna say this one. We'll try this one, see if this one works. Hopefully it will. Oh, I need to create glass panes. All right, glass panes are now craftable. So that should put everything in here. And we are crafting it up. Of course, we're also going to want to look at making the other add-ons, like the actual speed, efficiency, and all of those. So we can jump to this one. And then this one. And then this one. Nope, I don't want that recipe. I want this recipe. And of course, we need to make all of the stuff that's inside of these recipes, which, for the most part, we have most of it. I think I already have the diamond gears. So we've got the range. I'm missing one of these guys. So I did processing, I did efficiency, and then I should have done speed. Okay. We'll just go in here, do all this stuff, and then put this guy in here. With the add-ons being available, I'm going to actually just go ahead and make 9 of these. Okay, so I thought I did diamond gears, but apparently I've done a different diamond gear. So we're just going to teach this thing. Did I do a diamond gear already? I have not. Okay. Even though I spelled diamond wrong partially, but that's okay. All right, let's do 9. 9. 9. And I think we should be good. So this is going to take some time, and I'm probably going to take some of these add-ons right away and just put these guys in here and that'll be fantastic. So that's going to do some work. Quickly, before I forget, last episode I didn't mention this, but I have fully decked out my armor with Apotheosis stuff. And also, I've got the sword decked out with all canisters. I've got our heart canister thing here decked out with all the pieces that we could need, all the canisters. Kind of forgot what that was called for a second. I've also got the bow completely filled. This actually does 40 damage plus the 30% at the bottom, and also power. So there is quite a bit of buff there. There is, on this thing, 55.75, plus the, looks like Apotheosis's handful of damage, like 7.75, I think. And then, of course, 5 attack damage at the very bottom. And also, I have a thing on here that gives us 17.5% attack damage. And I also have Apotheosis Charms for Strength 2, Regeneration 2, and Resistance 2, which is going to increase our overall ability. Speaking of that, this is the setup that I used. So I used 1 Melon Shelf, 5 Draconic End Shelves, 2 Echoing Deep Shelves, and a Glowing Hell Shelf to get the ability to make these unbreakable. That is this thing right here. And that is all you will need. There might be a better configuration, but that's the one that I found that worked for the time being. Of course, I have now switched it back to the max enchantment one because I just needed to do some enchanting for a second. So that is some good stuff. The armor is going to be decent enough for now. But yeah, that is some good stuff. So let's see where we're headed on here. Let's throw the processing. And I'm going to take these guys, because these are going to be used in this down here. That's why I made so many of these guys. So there we go. We got the next set. And then we can come over here and we can do these over here as well. And then, of course, now we get the speed ones, which will make this better. Of course, I will do the latex processing unit thing here in a little bit, because I didn't actually make enough for the actual dissolution chamber and the extra machine. So just keep that in mind. All right, I'll be back when all the upgrades are in place. All right, back up here to the mob slaughter factory. Also, textures have changed, by the way, because I actually updated the pack between this segment and last. And I don't really like the textures. I'm not going to lie. They don't really look that great. They look too clean. I prefer the old ones that kind of looked a little gritty. Just going to point that out there. Also, this just kind of looks a little goofy, that you've got like some kind of pinwheel type thing. But yeah, I noticed that on the latex processing unit and everything down there as well. And I don't really care for it. So, you know, that's a thing. But overall, we will just keep on keeping on. Definitely not something I would spend time in doing. I mean, I understand that modern Minecraft definitely has a lot of texture changes, a lot of modded, even the mods, right? AE2, for example, massive overhaul of textures. Some I just don't think need it. AE2, I think it really could have done with a new fresh coat of paint, but this one, it's a little weird, especially because they didn't change the GUI in any capacity, only the blocks. Maybe they're working on a full thing, but who knows? Anyway, not my place. We will keep on keeping on. Let's grab this lever and a redstone link, just because I want to be extra fancy. I might not have enough stuff to be extra fancy, though. Yeah, I do. Okay, perfect. All right, redstone link. And we are just going to place this. We'll just place it behind here. And then we'll place this guy. There we go. Oh, hold on. That is a problem. Let's just use andesite casing here. We have this redstone link being used on the wither thing, by the way. That's why it's functioning. So there we go. Now it should be perfect. Okay, we are getting more liquid meat than we are pink slime, which I think I want to test with a different mob then. For the most part, we do have another Wandering Trader egg, So I'm not too concerned about that, but I want to do a passive mob. And I was trying to figure out what mob has like the most health, but I actually don't know. Some are saying llamas, some are saying horses, some are saying mules. Just like looking through stuff. But I think the biggest thing is with that though is it all varies. It's not consistent. So we have just a handful of spawn eggs in the market block, which is where I'm going to get these. So let's grab some diamonds. Spawn egg. So let's see. I mean, we could do the llama, we could do the horse, we could do the mule. There's a handful of creatures in here. I think the best course of action is to just get something that does spawn in all conditions. I'm going to grab a panda egg, and I am going to grab a polar bear egg and see if either one of these guys will spawn. We actually can get a conduit. Never mind, I don't have to worry about that. Conduit, we can make this, right? We have the ability to do this. I need ink sacs. Okay, hold on. I can do that too real quick. Actually, I think I have squid spawn eggs, don't I? So I don't even have to do too much. I can just spawn these guys. And then obliterate them. Which is how I've been farming ink sacs, by the way, just so you guys are aware. That is one of the easiest ways because it's just diamonds, and I'm not really concerned about running out of those anytime soon. So, Heart of the Sea, Conduit, and oop, I just threw the polar bear. I think I'll do polar bears. I think we'll do polar bears. I think that'll work. Let's change this, and let's do... Actually, like I could just look this up, but I'm kind of curious. How much health does a polar bear have versus a panda? And I don't even know if this actually goes off of health. I think it does, but I'm actually not sure. So, panda. So that has, what is that, 5 hearts? Polar bear. Okay, polar bear has a lot more hearts. So let's do polar bear. Let's see if this changes anything. Okay, that's definitely a lot more. And we'll grab some tanks. Let's grab... let's see. I don't want an Ender IO tank. I probably want the jumbo tank. Actually, let's just grab a drawer. Fluid drawers. Mostly, I just want one of these guys for the liquid meat. So liquid meat, I want this to be pushed to the left. And then I want an ender tank for the other one, because I'm going to send this back over to our drawer system down there. The liquid meat, I don't really care about. I'm going to be honest. I never really care about liquid meat. There's definitely stuff you can do with this. I just don't really see a good thing to do with this right now. So we'll just get as much of it as we can and then void the rest. That sounds fantastic to me. Perfect. All right. And then pink slime. We're going to push this off to this side, and that should work. That is terribly slow though. So let's just grab some fluid pipes so we can extract out of this, and we'll do this on this other side too for the liquid meat so we don't actually back up anything. There we go. And we'll put this on top of a pipe too. There we go. And that'll just make things a lot easier. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I may also want to make sure that I do like pink slime in here, just in case. So we'll do add, pink slime submit, and then we'll do liquid meat. Just like so. Perfect. Good stuff. All right, let's turn this on. Yeah, it's definitely dropping a lot less liquid meat. So polar bears, I mean, I guess we could have looked at llamas too, but I guess we'll keep this for now. If I decide to change my mind, we'll address that when I do, but this is going to be fantastic. Pink slime indeed. All right, let's go down here. And let's grab another drawer. Also, I don't know why this is doing archwood. Okay, and then bucket. Okay. So fluid drawer. I'm just going to put this guy here. And I don't know where I'm going to put the ender tank. Let's just do this. Let's do the drawer here, ender tank here, pipe here, that there, and then functional storage. Grab 4 of these guys. And then we'll do that. And that'll be perfect. All right. That is some good stuff. Good stuff indeed. So that is pink slime, which means now that we could get that, we want to do another dissolution chamber. All right, another dissolution chamber, and then we want another ME pattern provider. Make this a flat type. Do this. How many channels are we up to? 5 on this one. Okay. And then I'm going to also grab our quartz knife. So latex and pink slime. And did I spell latex correctly? LATX EX. There we go. Okay. All right. So add-ons. Quickly snag these guys as well because we may as well. Also, there are more add-ons than just these because we have the more Industrial Foregoing add-ons. I just don't really... I mean, yeah, I guess we do have access to some of them. But some of the other ones we really don't. No, we should. Just tier 3s, yeah. And then this one, that's experience or fluid XP. We don't really have a supply of that, but we could probably work on that sometime. All right, so the Industrial Foregoing and machine frame. So we want to look at making this one and this one. So let's go simple machine frame. I think that was everything for the simple. Yeah, everything's good. And then this is for the advanced. And that should be perfect. So this one here goes here. This one goes here. And then this one goes in here. So we're looking for the stasis chamber, which is not a complicated machine, but I am going to teach this into here. And we also want the fluid laser base. Yes, this thing here. We're going to autocraft this as well. And we also want the laser drill. I think is what it's called. Yes, laser drill. And that should work. So we want to grab, we'll just say 4 of these for now. Ooh, I did not teach this thing how to make pity machine frames. What a pity. Okay. So 4 of these guys. And then we need the fluid. 1 of these guys. We don't have enough pink slime. Oh, it might help if I linked this. That might work. Maybe. Okay, 1 of those guys and a stasis chamber. And then we also need a lens. Did I put this on blocking mode? I did not, but it did not break because there's only 1 recipe. We'll change that right now. All right. Ooh, I do like the laser lens texture from Industrial Foregoing. Those do look a lot better in my opinion. They are very fancy. I'm still just not liking the machine textures. We want to grab a blue laser lens because this is going to be required to get soul lava, which is the actual goal here. I think, right? Is it this one or is it the other? Is there another blue one? Blue lens? Is it this one or this one? Okay, we'll just look it up. Oh, did they change it? Did they change it in this update? I think this was maybe a different version. Well, no, because I thought we saw this recently, right? I know that there's been a chapter change, with chapter 3 being quote-unquote officially released. Why in the world would they change that right now? This pack has been out for a while. I mean, it's fine that they did, right? But it's just kind of strange. Okay. Well, we need to adjust because now we don't really care about doing this that much. I don't think ether gas is going to give us that much stuff, right? Maybe? Let's just look. Because we could shift and do ether gas real fast. If that'll do anything for us. Besides, like, add-ons and stuff. It does not look like it's going to do much for us. As of right now, at least. Okay. Well, my bad. I guess the next thing is to just kind of automate the Warden, right? I guess that's our next goal. I mean, we have enough stuff in Industrial Foregoing to just, like, get it completed. But, I mean, if we're going to need to go ahead and just work on automating something other, because now we don't have that recipe. Well, I actually guess that this is a good thing. I believe we should be able to make a mob crusher. And with this mob crusher, we may be able to automate the Warden. And get the Warden tendrils and everything from him. So that might be a good thing. So we'll use the stasis chamber and the fluid laser base and stuff down the road. But for now, I think we can shift gears and potentially work on getting some other stuff figured out. So let's close this up. I think what I'll do is I'll keep the same kind of thing where we see in here. I guess I don't really need tinted glass, do I? I could do just like normal glass if I really wanted to. Gonna do like a glass thing right here. And we just... We may want to do some kind of access, though. We just have like a hole right here. Let's change it up. Also, I have to apologize. In the most recent sets of videos, I have been doing a lot more cuts, and that is not entirely something I am controlling. There has been a lot of issues with my computer recently, and I hope between this segment and last, I have fixed quite a bit of things. I have had to do some kind of resetting of my Windows 11 environment that I'm using, and that, I hope, has done some good. Of course, Wavelink, the audio software that kind of controls my mic and everything that's running through like a Stream Deck XLR, keeps deleting the mic setup profile. I'm not 100% sure why that keeps happening. I still haven't tracked that down, but I have made it to where I can just import it completely and utterly without having to worry about it. But of course, that's still complicated because I have to go in and check it every time before I record. That was actually figured out on a live stream, the Battlefield 2 Part 2 campaign, the hardcore campaign live stream. So hopefully we are good now to just kind of keep on keeping on. And maybe the Windows stuff that I did will fix the other portions. But who knows? Only time will tell. So we shouldn't have too many more like cuts and segments and pieces unless it's like, hey, I have to go do something and I have to just like cut the recording, which is happening, you know, here and there, but not as much as not as much as the other portion. So hopefully everything is golden, and let's just get this fully built and I'll be right back. Okay, so I want to test a couple things before we get too crazy in automating the Warden. Because I'm not 100% sure how to do this. Let's just say that. What I want to try is I'm going to try and put this guy here. And I want to see about putting one of these guys in the floor as well. Will this spawn the Warden? If not, that's fine. I just kind of want to test. Oh, yeah, we do need a skulk core before this actually stands, right? Let's do that. We gotta do this 3 times, right? Gotta get him activated 3 times. Come on. Okay, so I don't think this is gonna work. So let's grab another skulk core. Let's grab this, which is just a silk touch pickaxe. That's the only reason I'm grabbing it. Oh, actually, he did spawn. Okay. So we'll replace it. We'll put the core back. And I guess we'll continue on here. So what I want to do, or what I want to try, is grab a note block. And we're going to have this guy keep, like, spawning, which is fine. We can deal with him. Oh my goodness. That is insane. Loot Pinata activated and gave me 21 Splendor Gems. Goodness gracious. And we're going to grab a simple clicker. So actually, hold on. This is actually being activated by the skulk sensor every time something is detected, so I don't want to do that. Okay. And quickly. So I probably want to place this just like that. And I'm going to do left click, ignored. I could have set up the crusher by now, by the way. This would solve like 90% of my problems. So watch this. Also, I'm just gonna grab a bow real quick. Because it's thinking that's a player, by the way. So if we just like sit and watch this. See, but it's not sending anything out to this thing. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay, let's continue on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to slab up a portion of this area. And I guess I don't need to slab out the very end of this because we're going to put a wall around this anyway. And where is my thing here? And this is going to be like the entry point, or where the actual, what do you call it? Where the crusher is going to go. Because he shouldn't be able to spawn on top of slabs. That's the biggest reason why I'm doing this specifically. And that will eliminate a large portion of the area we have to really make an add-on for. Perfect. I think that may have also been the problem. I had that on left click and not right click. Let's see if that sounds it quicker. Yeah, but see how he's only spawning in this radius? So let's grab an add-on for this. I'm hoping the 4 is going to be large enough. And he doesn't like to walk on blocks that are not full blocks either, which I've noticed, which is a very good thing in our case. A little big. How many blocks do we have? 3? 3? Okay, so yeah, that's... I might want to make like a 5 or a 6. We'll leave that up there for a second. Let me make a add-on pattern for... Let's just go 6. That is a little bit bigger. So I actually can pull this back one. Actually, I guess I could pull back another one, right? But I think this will work. I mean, even if I don't have like a full-out Warden thing and this doesn't fully function, at least we'll have the ability to come over here and just get it working. Right? Like, we won't have to really worry about it, which is also fantastic. Because we can just stand here and it'll automatically kill all of them. So, if this doesn't work like I'm hoping, which it seems like it's not, we'll be fine still no matter what. Alright, so I took out the note block stuff because it doesn't seem like it works consistently enough to actually matter, and I think I have to be making at least one part of the noise. So I can actually just stand here, and this thing does all the farming for me, which is absolutely fantastic. Also, these Warden Charm Fragments, actually, I'm not even getting blue hearts, which is a problem, because that's actually one thing I wanted to get. Shucks. Well, I guess for now this will be used for Warden Tendril. I'm also getting no Echo Shards, it looks like, which kind of sucks, but these are going to be useful because you actually do get the Warden Spawn Egg, which gives you this Firecracker Sapling, which I have no idea what that means. But that is pretty cool if we wanted to do that. But overall, I don't really see a lot of use for anything other than the blue hearts that we're not getting from this, which is kind of a shame. But we actually can get the Gateway of the Apothic Pinnacle, which sounds absolutely insane, and kind of tempted to get that, but, you know, right now I don't think that that's a good thing. So we can't do automation of Warden Tendrils unless we got into something like ours or the Loot Fabricator, which is an option. I don't know if I want to do that, though. I really don't know if I want to do that. That is an insane feat. I was hoping we could do something actually automated. I kind of wish this Deorum would add something, or another mod would add something that would make this guy like actually automatable. It is one of the least automatable things, even in vanilla Minecraft, because you still have to be near it, which I would say is not automatic because you're AFKing or you're standing here doing nothing. So, you know, it's one of those many things that I don't really care for, but oh well. So I guess the question really is, if I were to change this out for an advanced clicker, or advanced clicker. So grab one of these guys, change it out with this, and do my sword. Hold on, let's make sure that this is targeting hostile mobs, not me. We're going to left click, and we are going to... Nope, wrong way. We need the X direction. Okay, X direction once. There we go. Perfect. And then 5 this way. And then like 2 this direction. And I know this is not going to be that fast, but that's fine. This may actually drop heart canisters, and I can actually just turn my magnet on and stand here. And this should give me blue heart canisters. We'll just watch this. We'll have it spawn another one here. One spawn into my right. Alright, so I have set up a vat from Ender.io. I quickly just did a handful of recipes and patterns and all of that fun stuff to get us this. And I've also got the soul lava pattern in here. So I think we should be good. I've put a push-pull on the top here. I think the only thing is we don't technically have a place for this to go. So we may want to disable... So we'll do push. No, we'll do pull. I think we'll do pull. And we'll run a soul lava operation. Oh, it ain't even going to let me run a soul lava operation. Okay, so fluid, drawer. And we may just want to quickly grab a tendril. And some soul sand. Oh, I did not rebind that, did I? I quickly went ahead and changed our soul sand down here over to the compacting, but I think this is actually wrong. The more I was looking at this... Oh, no, okay. It's the X-Dorium or the all-the compressed. Perfect. So I just changed this over to a simple compacting, so that way we have that without having to worry about crafting. So that should work. Okay. And then... we just snag out one of these guys, so 1, 1, and then a lava bucket. And that should start working. 1,000, that, there. How does this thing work? Okay, so the items have to be this way. That's a weird one. I don't know how we actually account for that in AE2. But let's check this out real quick. I guess that's right. You'd want this to go in first. And let's actually grab our correct soul sand here while we have this. And let's move this up too. Okay. And then... oh yeah, we gotta do this 10 times to get a bucket. I forgot. Alright, be right back. Alright, we got our first full bucket of soul lava, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and make another one. As you saw, I actually have changed the pattern to do one full bucket. So it's 10, 10, 10, and then one bucket. So that should hopefully get us cruising. And of course the functional storage drawer is up here. And I've also reset this thing to do push pull on the top, so that way it's always sending, and that should work perfectly. So that is soul lava, which is beautiful. I don't think there's actually a chapter or anything in here for it, but we do need this actually for smelting down the pieces of vibranium that I actually have here in one of these guys, which I think I have to kind of reset this to the productive metalworks. What is that called? Coil? Let's see, high powered heating coil. So this is actually how you would be able to most likely produce soul lava using RF, is using the high powered. But we're going to go back to the liquid cooling here. And we're just going to swap this guy out for this. And we'll swap the capacitor and everything back to the tank, so that way we can actually do this. Because we need soul lava to be able to even smelt this, which is exactly what we're doing here. So liquid. Unless, of course, they changed this too, but I don't think they have. That scared me. I thought I was gonna get like blood into this thing if I accidentally stood in there any longer. All right. Yes, molten vibranium, 1 bucket of soul lava per block. We're gonna need 9 things of soul lava, it looks like. Do we got any empty tanks? Does not look like we have. Okay. Do I not have any buckets in here? Okay. There's 2 buckets of that. 2 of these guys. And this should start smelting up. Oh, this actually says 81 millibuckets. So this is not going to be a full thing. So I'm actually just going to send all of these guys in there if that's the case. Perfect. So I can actually take out a bucket of this. And this should be a GeOre. A Vibranium GeOre. Our first one. We can get the second one quite easy now if we have the GeOre, right? I hope. Because it's a GeOre shard. Vibranium. So Vibranium GeOre. This guy right here. What? Does this not do anything? Oh, you need... Okay. So you don't really get a big return on investment, but that's fine. You'll have to be, like, getting more of these, I think, is the main focus after getting the first one. Because if you need 4, I would prefer to have 4 of these guys, and then that way we could basically get an ingot in a matter of minutes. But that's fine. We'll have to go with it. Also, they have changed it to where you only get 1 per, so they definitely did nerf the ever-living crap out of these compared to the other one, but that is a-okay. So I'm going to set this up real quick, and I will work on hopefully getting another one of these. I will probably actually set this guy up, if I can, over on the other side here. Let's quickly switch over to this controller. So, oh, this does not have enough range. Let me see if I can give this some more range. Go with a gold upgrade. Is that going to give it enough range? Okay, perfect. So I want to grab a simple compacting drawer. I actually want to see if this works before I do anything else. So let's put this in. Let's just set this over here for a second. Okay, so this does not work. Basically what I was trying to do is this, but in a drawer rather than in our inventory, which is kind of annoying. I guess what we could do... So before I do anything, of course, we're going to test this because I don't know if this will work either. Okay. So we're going to use this as our piece to get this working. So we'll put this guy here. And what I'll do is we will then also grab a iron furnace with the energy pipe right there, which is fantastic. And a factory augment. And we may as well just go for this as well. Oh, I'm out of sugarcane. Okay, we'll just stick with this. We'll do that. And we will do... I think this thing should only pull smeltable. We'll see. And then we can grab that simple compacting drawer back out. Actually, let's go with the full compacting drawer. Because we're getting nuggets, we'll need the blocks no matter what anyway. Actually... Let's quickly rebind this to there. and see how far this goes, because I actually want to just bind this to our main system. Perfect. All right, so that is completed. I just got to get this thing set up, and then hopefully I'll get a handful more of these guys, and we'll be off to the races. With the acquisition of the soul lava, I have actually went ahead and I have placed it under the crucibles, and I've removed a section of crucibles, well, 2 sections, but you can actually do flowing soul lava. That's one of the biggest things that I wanted to test, because we don't have that many buckets under here. I think about 4 or 5 buckets per, because I think it flows about 7 blocks from the source, and that is fantastic. So we are producing at 120x the rate for lava, and I've added a couple more magmatic generators, so that way we have more power as well. So less production of lava, but overall more at the end of the day, just by using the however much we have there. Also, I have realized that with Vibranium, the GeOre specifically, you cannot break this. This actually just breaks and disappears indefinitely. So if you are trying to move it, yeah, that's a thing. So I've just went ahead, spent the last few hours recreating all of them, because I actually got 4 of them, and then I was like, hey, I want to move them, and then I realized they didn't break properly, and I didn't realize it until it was too late. So that is fantastic. My plan is to get 10 of these, so there's 5 per side, and I'm just letting this run, and hopefully we'll get enough blocks to actually get this going. But once we do that, of course, we'll be able to do a lot more in a matter of like seconds. Of course, we can add more of these guys if we wanted to. We can go up to ceiling height, whatever we plan on doing. Honestly, 8 per side, or yeah, well, 8 per side would probably be better in my opinion, because then that way we're able to do 2 blocks, the 2 of the GeOre blocks things that we're smelting here, and that would be significantly better. But overall, I think this is going to be decent no matter what. Even if we just do the 10 here, 5 per side, that is going to get us a significant boost of Vibranium. So that is fantastic. But I'm going to wrap this one up here. So of course, we've got soul lava, we've got pink slime, and we have our Vibranium GeOre, which is the end-all be-all goal of all the soul lava. There is, of course, the other stuff with soul lava that I'll probably do off camera, because it's not really that important. But if we look here at the cobblestone generation, this is how we obtain the ancient stone or blue ice soul lava. So blue ice is the best option. Okay, we actually have access to blue ice, so I'm not too concerned about that. But that is just another cobblestone generation thing, nothing too concerning. I will just get that done off camera, throw it into a drawer, and we will be one step closer to getting the, I believe this is going to be used for the smithing template, ain't it? For Vibranium? Yes. So that is the end-all be-all goal of that one. And then, of course, we'll get to the unobtainium sooner or later, which I don't really know too much about this, but that'll be leading into mechanisms. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I can see you in the next one. Bye-bye.